Hello, my name is Evolve Benton, and I am the Speaking for Profit coach. And today we are talking about how to find paid speaking and consulting opportunities on LinkedIn. If you're listening right now, just put hashtag live in the comments. If you're listening in the near and dear future, put hashtag replay. I am looking forward to today's conversation and giving you my top 10 tips on how to monetize as a speaker and a consultant on amazing platform that I love called LinkedIn. I know some of you are watching right now on LinkedIn, so thank you so much for being connected with me and being a part of my community. And shouts out to everyone who's also watching on YouTube, or maybe you're watching here on Facebook. I just appreciate all the spaces I'm able to build community, but the space that I find to be the most lucrative is LinkedIn, and the space where I have the most authentic and transformative relationships have been LinkedIn. So again, if you're listening now, just going to put hashtag live in the comments. And if you're listening near and dear future, put hashtag replay. Let's get into today's conversation about the top 10 ways to find paid speaking and consulting opportunities on LinkedIn. So the first thing I want to talk about is the power of having an optimized profile. Before anything else, before you even get started reaching out to your dream 100 or some of the people that you really want to build relationships or organizations that you really want to support, it's important that you ensure that your LinkedIn profile reflects your speaking abilities and your expertise as a speaker or consultant. You need to really highlight your experience, your key accomplishments, and topics for expertise in your headline section, your summary section, and your experience section, and also shifting your profile to creator mode where you upload media such as past speaking engagements, books you've written, opportunities that you've had to share your framework and expertise with the world is going to be super powerful. The one thing I know as a person who has over 8,000 connections to date on LinkedIn is that when I look at connecting with someone, I want to make sure that they're actually human, y'all. I mean, there's so many bots and people out here who are impersonating other people. So I do my due diligence before I connect and accept people. And I think that you all would do really well if you do that for yourself as well. And in order to connect with people who are real, your profile has to be set up and amplified as well. So that's the number one tip I'm going to get you. Like, make sure that your profile actually speaks to who you are and what you do. And don't be afraid to brag a little. I was talking to a client last week and I was like, you know what? Stun on them. Brag a little. Tell them about the schools you went to. Tell them about the expertise that you have, but also tell them about your humanity and how you're really excited about the work that you're doing. Quite often, I see people who have an incomplete LinkedIn profile, whether that's that you don't have a photo or maybe you're not just really sharing all of who you are and you just have set it up almost like a resume waiting for people to connect with it. So that's the number one way to find paid speaking opportunities. And the reason I say it's the number one is because if your profile is optimized and set up in the most appropriate way, people are going to find you. You're not even going to have to find people, right? Which is really cool. And I love when people come to me. There's a couple of conferences that I've had an opportunity to speak at, and people found me through LinkedIn. I didn't even have to reach out to them. The second way to find paid speaking opportunities on LinkedIn is to build a relevant network. And what I mean by that is really connecting with people that you know are either doing work that can support your current speaking topic or industry, connecting with event organizers, industry leaders, or even fellow speakers. And don't just connect with people and leave it at that. Really being an engaged friend, colleague on LinkedIn is going to be super important. So making sure that you're engaging with their content, reading their newsletter, and really building genuine relationships. Remember, LinkedIn is about adding value, not just looking for opportunities. And the way that people are going to bring you into the room where it happens and talk about you and your services is because you've been able to amplify theirs. So, reciprocity is going to be extremely important when you're building your network and building relationships with folks because we've got to admit there's some folks who are on LinkedIn who are using it in a really salesy way. And that makes people not want to build those genuine connections and relationships, which is so important. So I see there's a few more folks here. Just going to put into the comments where you are watching this video from. I really appreciate to know how far this has gone. And if we're not connected on LinkedIn, just go ahead and connect with me. My name on LinkedIn is Evolve Benton. You can find me there, which is really exciting. So, we talked about the two top ways to find paid speaking opportunities, right? And let's go into the third one, which is to showcase your expertise regularly through your content and demonstrate that. Before I move into that one, I want to say one more thing about making sure that you're building your relevant network and the content that you're creating on LinkedIn. Make sure that your network and the folks that you're building relationships with, when you are engaging with their content, that you figure out ways that you can also collaborate. I've had some really great podcast guests, opportunities to write in a few articles from LinkedIn. So also look at ways you can collaborate. But let's move into number three, which is to share your expertise on a regular through content and specifically articles, short posts, and maybe even videos. LinkedIn loves when people go live to be able to share your expertise. So I talk to many speakers and consultants who are waiting for someone else to create a stage for them. And what we have, y'all, is the power of the internet. You do not have to wait for someone to create a stage for you. You have the ability to create a stage for yourself. You have the ability to go on today, maybe go on Amazon, buy you a microphone, buy you a webcam like we got right here today. And on a regular basis, utilize your voice, get comfortable with it, and share your expertise like I am today. I love LinkedIn and I've been using it the last 3 to 4 years. I've spoken about this at organizations, and now I'm speaking about it today with you on this platform, creating my own stage. So there's no excuse on why you can't practice and why you don't have a space to share your expertise. But we realize everyone's not going to show up to this live session. So making sure that you're also creating articles and other content to go along with it is going to be promising. You want to be known as an expert, you have to add expertise and value to your field. You can't expect people to trust you, like you, pay you if they don't know you and don't know what you do. And we have it really not even easy, but we have an easeful way of doing it by just showing up consistently on LinkedIn and sharing more about our expertise and the things that we believe and the things that we know to be very powerful for our particular speaking and consulting niche and industry. So don't forget to show up and show out and share your expertise, not just when you're behind closed doors and in boardrooms or at conferences, but on a daily, weekly basis on LinkedIn as an influencer and content creator. It's so interesting, y'all. I was looking at some data and a few articles on LinkedIn this week, and I seen an article where it shared the top 10 influencers on LinkedIn. And I was very upset to see that the top 10 influencers on the platform are predominantly white men. There's a few white women on there and one woman of color, right? So, this positionality of us as diverse leaders, change agents, and speakers is so important. In order for us to amplify our credibility and expertise, we have to put more of our frameworks out there and share them with the world. So, don't be afraid to share your expertise and create your own stage on LinkedIn. So before I move into number three, I just want to shout out everybody who might be listening for the first time. I appreciate you being here, being in the space, showing up and showing out. And I just want you to get an opportunity to make sure that you're on the list the next time we have a live training. So if you want to be put onto our text message list, which means that anytime we do a live training like this one, or I drop an exclusive podcast where I teach you tips on how to monetize your message, just go on and text the word speak to 323 405 9492. This is going to give you an opportunity to be put on our text message list, which means that when we get new content that comes out, new trainings, new opportunities to engage, new knowledge around the speaking and consulting industry, you will be one of the first people to know. So go on and text the word speak to 323 405 9492. And I see we got some folks in the chat saying where they're from, watching from Cleveland, Ohio, while visiting family for Thanksgiving. Congratulations on that. Nothing like spending time with our family, our friends, the folks that we love, and really cultivating that good energy and that joy. So, Laura, I'm happy that you are enjoying your time in Cleveland, and I hope that you continue to have a good time with your family. So, the fourth way to find paid speaking opportunities on LinkedIn is to use recommendations. And this is something that I find most people don't do, but can be really a great way to build more trust with potential people who want to hire you. So there's a recommendation section at the bottom of your profile on LinkedIn, and allows you to give recommendations to people that you may trust and honor and have had the opportunity to work with. And it also allows for you to ask for recommendations from past employers or past people that you have spoken or past organizations that you have consulted with. After you have a paid speaking opportunity that goes really well, it's important that you don't wait beyond 48 hours to ask for a testimonial or a recommendation. And I usually ask for both. I use a platform called Talkadot, and that is a platform I use for surveys. And then I also will ask someone to leave me a recommendation on LinkedIn. And the reason this is so important, y'all, is that when you are in a conversation with a decision maker, an event organizer about potentially going into their organization to speak or consult, and they're maybe on the fence about you, or maybe they want to share about you to their director or someone else who's in the field with them, they might send them your LinkedIn profile, and immediately people are going to go through it. And when they get down to that recommendation section, they're going to see what other people have said about you. So this is so powerful because it doubles downs on the trust aspect of building of the relationship. But the other thing is that there's really only 3 degrees of separation, and there's even shorter degrees of separation depending on what industry you're in. So if you've worked with one organization, the likelihood of the other person who's looking at your profile knowing that person and knowing other people you've worked with is really high, and them being able to see their colleagues giving you praise and saying how great your work with can be really powerful as well. So I believe that our speaking and consulting businesses are reputation and relationship businesses. This give us an opportunity to build relationships and also build trust by having that recommendation section set up and making sure that we're able to boost our credibility and appeal for event organizers and decision makers. So make sure that you utilize that recommendation section. The fifth way to find paid speaking opportunities on LinkedIn is to join relevant groups. And I've talked a little bit about this at past trainings, but there's a whole group section similar to Facebook on LinkedIn where you can find other people in your industry. There's actually an LGBT professionals group that I'm a part of that has grown extremely in the last few weeks/months. And I think that's been a great space for me to build some relationships with folks and continue to get an understanding of how I can support more diverse people just like yourself who are watching today on joining or scaling in the speaking and consulting industry. So, groups are going to be a really great place for you to understand industry related trends, market research, participate in discussions, and really just share value so that you're noticed. It's one thing to share an article or podcast that you've been on your profile. That goes so far. But when you're able to share it in a group of like minded individuals, you never know who's going to see that information, move it forward, and connect you with someone else. So making sure that you join relevant groups, and don't just join the groups similar to not just adding people, but not adding value. Join the groups and add value to the groups. Be a great group participant. One pro tip that I give you is that I always add the group administrator and thank them for creating the group, because I think that's a great way to build rapport. But also, a lot of labor goes into running these groups. So you definitely want to support those folks. As you can see, y'all, I said to find groups and join them. I didn't say to start them, because that's a whole different strategy. And that also takes a whole lot more labor, specifically a team to be able to do it. So I would suggest joining and getting to know other people before you even create a group on LinkedIn. The sixth way to find paid speaking opportunities on LinkedIn is to follow event organizers and companies that you trust, know, and like, and maybe companies that you want to work with. Many event organizers and companies share speaking opportunities on LinkedIn pages all the time, whether they're virtual conferences or in person events. Follow them, stay up to date, and be the first one to know about new opportunities. So, this is a strategy that I've been working with some of my clients on. If there's a conference or an event that you want to speak at in the next year, go to that event page and see who's on the board, or see who's the person who's the event organizer for that, and connect with them on LinkedIn and start to build a relationship. It's so much easier to do that than to send them an email to like info at whatever the conference name is, and then hope that they're able to get to your email. Emails are often bombarded, but LinkedIn inboxes are not. And you will stand out and be unique if you're able to build relationships with some of those event organizers and get your name seen first. So don't be afraid to connect with folks. Don't just connect with folks because you see them on LinkedIn. Connect with folks that you see outside of the space at events that you want to make sure that you are able to speak and consult at in the future. So I see some folks are putting their location in. Thank you so much for sharing, y'all. And thank you so much for being here. If y'all are enjoying today's training, go on and put the word money into the comments. That's always helpful for me to know if you are picking up what I'm putting down. So go on and put the word money in the comments if today's training has helped you. And if there's anything that has really sparked your interest, or something that you're going to implement today, right? We're going through 10 tips, and I realize that you might not be able to get to all 10, but maybe you can get to a couple to really help you build out and grow your speaking and consulting business. So before we move on to the next few tips on how to find paid speaking and consulting opportunities on LinkedIn, I just want to share one thing with you all, and that is that today we dropped our amazing LinkedIn Blueprint growth course that teaches you how to do everything that I'm talking to you about today. Literally, how to build out a profitable LinkedIn profile, how to make sure that it's optimized, how to connect with your Dream 100. All of that is in the course. And normally the course is $497, but because today is an amazing day to give you all a gift, we're going to be dropping that down to $97. Don't worry, I'm going to give you the link in a moment, and you're going to have an opportunity when you sign up to get two bonuses. The first bonus is going to get you access to your own optimized LinkedIn audit that I'm going to do for you. I'm going to go through your LinkedIn, give you some feedback so that you can update it and make sure that it's ready for you to get in conversations with event organizers and decision makers today. So I'm going to give you a link, don't worry. And the second bonus that you're going to get is also going to be the six-figure speaker and consultant masterclass. That is a masterclass that has helped many folks make it to six figures, or at least build the strategy in order to get there. So in order to get that amazing opportunity for that course, remember, you get a LinkedIn audit from me. You also get access to that free masterclass. All you need to do is go over to www.speakingforprofit.com/LinkedIn growth. And that's going to give you access to the course so that you can get in there. This is only going to be available for a few days. In fact, we're probably most likely going to take down that discount on Monday. So you want to make sure that you get in and get in now. And folks are going to have an opportunity to get this, but it's only for the first 20 people who sign up, right? We have not emailed our email list about this yet. However, an email will be sent out later today. So you want to make sure, because you're here today at this live training, that you get an opportunity to get into the LinkedIn Growth Blueprint course now and get some of those bonuses so that you can start to build powerful relationships on LinkedIn and have the exact strategies that I've utilized to build relationships with over 8,000 connections, and also make over $200,000 in contracts from amazing organizations that I've been able to support the last couple of years. So I want this opportunity for you. So I went on and put that up. But what I'll also do is I'll put the link to this into the chat so that folks have it as well. All right, perfect. So now let's get into the next way, right? We've went through quite a few, and I'll review all of them before we head out, but just want to make sure that you all have all 10 so that you're the most successful and able to take your business to the next level. And we're framing this for speakers and consultants, but I really want y'all to think about it. If you're an expert in any way and you want to grow your business on LinkedIn, all of these strategies can be utilized. So whether you're a coach, an entrepreneur, if you're trying to get booked and paid to speak on stages, this is for you. So the next way to find paid speaking and consulting contracts on LinkedIn is to follow event organizers and companies. Wait, we already talked about that one. So we talked a little bit about following event organizers and companies that you really trust and that you believe in. The next way is to utilize LinkedIn job search features. Y'all, y'all are probably like, I'm not looking on LinkedIn for a job. I want to be a speaker. I want to be a consultant. What do you mean evolve? I want you to go on LinkedIn every now and then. I want you to search under the job section and put in speaker, put in keynote, put in call for presenter, put in panelist. You will find listings there of people looking for that particular type of person on LinkedIn. People put that under the job search section all the time. So making sure that at least maybe once a quarter, once a month, you look under the job section to see if there's paid speaking opportunities is a great other way to find it. I have found many call for presenters in those sections. Some of them have been for me, other ones haven't really aligned with my work, but it's still a great place to use to search because people are putting it there on LinkedIn. The next way to find paid speaking and consulting contracts on LinkedIn is to engage with event hashtags. So if there's an event that you go to, maybe every year or annually, right, this can help you identify upcoming events or the organizers who are behind some of those events. Maybe when you go to that event website, you don't see the board, you don't see the organizer, but you might go on LinkedIn, look under the hashtag and find the people who are supporting that event. So making sure that you're following those actual hashtags and engaging with them. You have the ability to click hashtags on LinkedIn and be taken to a thread just like any other social media platform and see the people who are talking about it and connect with them and build those relationships. The next way that you're going to find paid speaking and consulting contracts on LinkedIn is direct outreach. And I know a lot of people feel uncomfortable with this, but there's nothing like building your network and sending a personalized message to a decision maker, an event organizer, expressing your interest in particularly speaking or consulting, being very professional, and seeing if you can help them solve a problem because that's really what we are as speakers and consultants. We are problem solvers. So having some type of system set up where you are doing direct outreach on a regular basis is going to be extremely powerful for you. People need to know about you, your business, and what you do, and you can't wait for them to find you. The marketplace is too competitive for that. So you have to have some type of direct outreach. Some speakers and consultants I know utilize LinkedIn Messenger. Other folks utilize cold email. Some people go to events. Some people do a mixture of both because they have a team. And I know that many of you who are watching this right now are solo entrepreneurs and maybe you don't have a team yet, but that's no excuse on why you can't take some time to do direct outreach. The core clients that I work with right now in Speaking for Profit Academy, I suggest that they reach out to anywhere between 25 to 100 people a week. More people need to know about you, your business, and what you do. The more people who know about you, even though they might not be the people who are going to hire you, they are building relationships and credibility and trust with you. And they're probably friends with the next person that's going to hire you. So you can't just sit there and wait for the world to grow your business. You've got to grow your business. And the final way that you're going to be able to find paid speaking and consulting contracts on LinkedIn is through your stories and through LinkedIn Lives. One that I'm doing today, right? Utilizing this feature is so important because it really gives people a sense of the behind the scenes or quick talks that you're passionate about. And this can further showcase your speaking skills, right? So putting together short live sessions like the one that we're doing today, or even sharing your stories on LinkedIn is going to be a super powerful way to build credibility and trust with your audience. And look, we're doing it here today. So many of you are here because you want to get to know more about me, about my framework, about some of the work that I'm doing to diversify the speaking and consulting industry. And you showed up and you showed out, and I appreciate that. So you can see even from this live session that this is something that probably can work from you, especially as you get more comfortable speaking in front of camera, sharing your story, and creating your own stage. So let's do a quick review of the top 10 ways. But before we do that, I just want to give a shameless plug to y'all, right? Go on and go over to speakingforprofit.com. Check out the LinkedIn Growth Blueprint course. This is going to be available until Monday and give you an opportunity to grow your LinkedIn profile and to optimize it. Let me get a little water. So to give you an opportunity to grow your LinkedIn profile, to optimize it, and to take your speaking consulting business to the next level. So let's review the top 10 ways to find paid speaking and consulting opportunities on LinkedIn. The first way Make sure that your profile is optimized. The second way, right? Build out a relevant network with people, event organizers, fellow speakers. The third way is to showcase your expertise. Make sure that people see it in your content, in articles that you post or videos. Number four is to use your recommendation. So, asking your past employers, colleagues, folks that you've spoken with, or organizations that you've consulted with to give you a recommendation. Number five is to join relevant groups that you really want to support. Excuse me. And number six is to follow event organizers and companies around the world that you want to be able to support and collaborate with. Number seven is to utilize LinkedIn job search feature to search speaker or keynote or call for presenter or panelist. Number eight is to engage with event hashtags. And number nine is direct outreach. And then number 10 is to share your story on LinkedIn stories or LinkedIn Live. So these are the top 10 ways to find speaking and consulting contracts, y'all. And I'm so thankful to continue to support y'all in this growth because I know that y'all have some powerful stories that are going to take things to the next level. So I hope those 10 helped you. See if there's any questions. This is great. Thank you so much for sharing these strategies. You have email outreach templates that you share. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Enola. I appreciate you being here. Enolia. I'm assuming that's how you say your name. I do have LinkedIn email outreach templates that we actually do give out during our 5-day challenge that happens every month. We're having another one on December 11th. So if you want to go on and join our 5-day challenge, that will be the best way for you to get access to those templates. We discussed that in that challenge, and it's just a great opportunity. So do me a favor. I'm going to send you a message on LinkedIn with the link to the 5-day challenge so that you can go on and get signed up. I think that that's a great way for you to really be able to grow that aspect of your business. In the LinkedIn course that I just put out today for Black Friday, it doesn't give you templates as far as email templates. It really focuses on LinkedIn and LinkedIn decision makers and messaging. But for the email templates and some of that direct outreach and how to build out a plan and strategy for your 6-figure speaking business, our 5-day challenge will be really great for you. It's taking place starting December 11th and it's $47 to join. So I'll send you the link, and that's something that could probably help you to do that. Looking forward to signing up for your course. Oh, that's great. I'm glad that you'll be there and I'll see you inside. Thank you so much for that. All right, y'all. Well, I hope that this was helpful. I see that there's quite a few people who are thinking about getting the course, having some deeper thoughts and questions about email templates and really growing your business. One thing I want to say before I go is that it's so easy to blame others for our businesses not growing. But what I want you all to know that it's your responsibility to grow your business. And I'm really proud of you all for starting today off in this training and learning more about what that process looks like. We talked about a lot today, but I'm going to let y'all know right now, I'm not an information coach, I'm an implementation coach. So what I would suggest is you got 10 items, implement at least 2 this week. Decide which 2 you're going to implement this week and get them done. Maybe you know that your LinkedIn profile needs some work and you need to work on some things. Go on and do that. Maybe you know you need to join a couple of groups. Take 2 pieces, implement it this week, and then you can implement more as you move forward. But don't just take the information, make sure that you implement. That is the only way that your business is going to grow and that you're going to be able to build something that's profitable and sustainable. So I hope that you all have an amazing weekend. And until next time, peace.